The first week of testimony in the Sean Diddy Combs sex trafficking trial is over. On Friday, R&B singer Cassie Ventura, Combs' former girlfriend and the prosecution's key witness, took the stand for the final time and spoke again about the day Combs brutally beat her in a hotel hallway in 2016. Here's part of a report from NBC's Chloe Malas.
Friday's cross-examination focusing heavily on Ventura's allegation that Combs raped her in 2018 after they had ended their relationship, which he denies. The defense showing text messages between the former couple the day after the alleged rape, including one in which Ventura sent a heart emoji to Combs. Combs' team also trying to poke holes in Ventura's timeline. At times Friday, the defense appeared to struggle to maintain momentum, facing frequent objections by prosecutors and regularly stopping Ventura's questioning to whisper together.
Joining us now is former prosecutor and former criminal defense attorney Yodit Tewolde. Yodit, welcome.
Thank you.
Give me a sense of how the defense has done with trying to cross-examine her. I know there were some concerns that they were going on too long, and this woman is, days away potentially from giving birth. So was there a sensitivity to that at all, or give you a sense?
I mean, from the start, the defense actually made a request to the court before Cassie Ventura even took the witness stand to have her already seated before the jury would come into the courtroom, because they wanted to avoid having the jury see her very pregnant. She's 8.5 months pregnant, and garner sympathy before she even spoke a word. So that was a request that the judge denied. The defense struggled on cross-examination because they also had to be very careful in the way that they handled Cassie Ventura. She was already a sympathetic witness as a abuse victim. We all watched her be physically assaulted on tape. And then on top of that, her condition of being pregnant. I mean, we all handle pregnant women with care, with kid gloves, and they couldn't take off the gloves and really hammer her on cross-examination because they could have turned off some jurors, right? So the first day of cross-examination went really slow. I mean, they were taking text messages from an 10-year relationship. And we're kind of jumping from year to year. But their goal was to raise some doubt in terms of how coerced were these women? Were these women even coerced to engage in these freak-offs? They wanted to show that there was consent, and so they presented text messages from Cassie where not only was she willing to engage in these sex parties, but she was enthusiastic about them. Yeah.
Interesting. Can I ask you, when I heard about the $20 million that she was paid by Sean Combs on a deal between them, and then a lawsuit was dropped, and then also the expectation potentially of another $10 million coming from the hotel in which that brutal beating, which we all did see, was incumbent upon her. What's the reaction of the jury like that? Not to say that somebody who goes through horrific things isn't entitled to money, but that's a lot of money. It's a lot. How do people react to that?
Here's the thing. The defense is saying a lot of things, right? They're using the strategy of this is consent, not coercion. The prosecution is trying to convict Diddy for a lifestyle. No crime has been committed. And then the other is this is just a money grab. And so what was really bad for the prosecution is that information came out on cross-examination and not on direct. It might not even be a big deal, but it seems like it's a bigger deal because the prosecution didn't say a thing about it. I don't know if they were caught off guard, didn't look into it. I mean, the defense found it. Was Cassie withholding that information? So the jury may look at her and say, okay, she withheld that information. What else is she withholding? Has she been truthful on the stand?
But she did say it, and that is the truth. She spoke the truth at that point, right?
She did. She was actually a really good witness for the prosecution, really stayed calm, answered the questions like she was supposed to, really direct, not trying to over-explain. And apparently from people inside the courtroom, they stated this was the first time she actually appeared flustered. She was kind of, mumbled in her words and really caught off guard. Yeah. So that could be
a lot of money. Some people might go, wow, I mean, what's that all about?
Exactly.
Okay, I want to look at something, and this was stricken from the record. The comment that she told prosecutors she considered herself a sex worker serving Combs, and how he then became increasingly physically and sexually abusive towards her. Overall, though, her credibility as a witness, you're saying she was really good. Did she, and is she, the one upon whom the whole prosecution is essentially based?
Well, there's more victims that they plan on calling to the witness stand. She was the star witness for them because she had the longest relationship with Combs. She was basically,
a decade, right?
Exactly. She was a treasure trove of information, and she was the subject on that tape. And that tape is what the prosecution is saying is evidence of sex trafficking. That she, on the stand, testified that that day at the Intercontinental in LA in 2016 was in the middle of a freak-off. Combs hit her. This is all alleged. Combs hit her. She tried to leave when he was distracted. He went and grabbed her, dragged her back. What the prosecution is saying, he was dragging her by force back to the freak-off, which is what they're saying is sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion. What the defense is saying is this is nothing more than two people in a decade-long relationship fighting over a private issue. Infidelity is what they're claiming they fought about, and that had nothing to do with sex trafficking. So she's vital. She was vital.
As you said, there are a lot more people to come on the witness stand, which means you'll come back and see us and wrap it up for us.
Absolutely.
Tewolde, thank you much.
Thank you.